Hello and welcome back to Aussie Frugal Family. My name is Rachel, and on this channel we chat about the cost of living crisis and how expensive everything is and how our family of four are making ends meet. I hope you like my new little intro thing. My husband is a musician and he just wrote a little jingle for me, which I think is very nice. He was very excited, so yes, enjoy. I've actually just been able to monetize my YouTube channel, so this is a bit of a celebration. I doubt I'll be making much money off of it. I'm not some huge YouTuber, but you know, it's nice even to just get that recognition. So today I have another bit of a different video. Someone over on TikTok suggested that I do some videos about $10 meals, and I thought it would be fun to do, yeah, 5 days of $10 meals. So this is a bit different to a video that's like $50 for 5 dinners. That's not what this is. This video is about if you have $10 left in your bank account or you have just a $10 note, what can you go to the shops and buy that's going to fill tummies? So I gave myself a few rules with this video. I'm going to do 5 meals and each one costs under $10. Nothing over $10, not $10.05. Had to be under $10. I also wanted to make sure that I had a protein source, some sort of grain thing, and also a vegetable in all of them. I also wanted it to feed at least 3 people for each meal because we have 3 people who eat in our family and 1 little baby who's on booby milk. Now, before I show you what I bought, I do want to add a disclaimer that I don't think these are the healthiest things ever. And long term, it's much, much cheaper if you are cooking from scratch. So I don't often use like packet sauces and things like that. For this video, I am, because it's the only way that I could really afford to like add some proper flavor into these meals. Obviously, it's much easier and more cost effective if you say, okay, I have $50 to last 5 meals, because you could just buy, you know, 1 portion of meat that can last a couple of meals. But yeah, we didn't do that here. It was just, if every day we were given $10, how would we make that last to feed us all? I hope that makes sense. I still have baby brain. I swear I'm usually a bit more switched on and maybe eloquent in my speaking, but that's okay. I'm sure you know what I mean. So I did buy these groceries from Woolies. So this is a Woolies specific $10 meal video. And that is just because it's really easy to go online and like put the groceries in and see how much it's all going to cost. It also meant that I was able to do a click and collect instead of having to go in store with like my little calculator and figure it all out, because I'm not very good at doing that and it's hard with children. So it would probably be cheaper to buy these type of ingredients from somewhere like Aldi or like discount grocery places and stuff. So this is just Woolies. I feel like none of these meals turned out particularly well either. Like, they're fine, don't get me wrong. Like, if someone fed me that meal, I'd be like, yeah, cool, like that's good enough. I have never been in a position where I have had $10 and I've had to feed my family off of that. So this was a real eye-opener. It's not easy. It's really not easy. And it's not easy to eat a healthy meal on that amount either. Like, I think I understand a bit more now that people in poverty, they're just trying to fill bellies. You know, like, we can criticize people for eating what we consider unhealthy food, but that may be all they're able to afford. If you have $10 to your name, there's not much chance that you'll be eating something super duper healthy. Anyway, I feel like that is enough talking. Let's get into the meals that I made for under $10. So this is everything that I bought. As you see, it came to $49.35, but every single meal is under $10. So if one meal had to use rice and another meal had to use rice, I made sure that I bought 2 rices, if that makes sense. I hope it does. This is everything I bought for the very first meal, which is like a tuna sushi bowl, but for poor people. And it says honey, soy, and garlic marinade. I just accidentally put that. I did actually get the teriyaki, which is what I wanted. Teriyaki marinade obviously is not the same quite as teriyaki sauce. I would recommend making the teriyaki sauce if you can. I couldn't do that on this budget. I also could not afford to buy any of the teriyaki sauces on this budget, so that's why I just got a marinade. It's not the same. It's not quite as good, but that's all right. So anyway, this meal is super, super simple. All you're going to do is cook your rice, you're going to add in your tuna, chop up your little nori sheets, and then pop your marinade or hopefully teriyaki sauce on top. I also added cucumber because I feel like that always goes well with tuna and sushi and that sort of stuff. And this is really good. Like, I often make this for dinner. It's really yummy. I would recommend putting Kewpie and sesame on as well. Obviously, that didn't fit into the budget, but it is how I ate this meal because it wasn't that great without it. That marinade is not the best. Don't buy it. So moving on to our next meal now. These are the ingredients that I bought. I wanted to make sure I had different protein sources for sort of each meal. So this one's going to be like a chicken situation. I did actually want, as you can see, the honey, soy and garlic marinade, but they gave me the smoky barbecue. So that's disappointing. That's not what I wanted, but that's what happens when you let the click and collect people do substitutions. I guess that's just what they had. So I'm going to quickly marinate my chicken while I am cooking up some rice. I'm also going to chop up the carrots as well. I then chucked my chicken into a pan and just cooked that up. As you can see, I had a baby on me, so it wasn't the easiest thing ever and I burnt it. But someone also told me that they have bought that same barbecue marinade and they kept burning it as well, so maybe it's not me. Anyway, I also steamed the carrots and then I just put everything together, and I think it would have been good if it was the proper marinade that I wanted, but yeah, it was okay. The next meal I made was a sweet chili pork, and this would have been good, I think, if I had more noodles, but I could not afford more noodles with my $10 budget, so there was just one little sad packet of instant noodles. This would have made so many portions though if you had more noodles. So yeah, buy more noodles. Anyway, so all I did was I just browned up the pork and then I added in the frozen spinach as well. I just added in like, I think it was 6 clumps or something. And once that was defrosted, I also added in the sweet chili. I probably put too much in, but that's fine. So I just cooked everything up until it was nice and warm. And yeah, I sort of just wanted the flavors to, I don't know, permeate. In the meantime, I boiled the noodles. I didn't use the flavoring from the noodles. I just wanted the noodles from the packet. And as you can see, it looks ridiculous because there's not enough. There's not enough noodles. But it did surprisingly make a good amount of portions. So this was like 3 large portions. Buy more noodles and it would be like 6. The next meal that I made was like meatballs and gravy, which is not a meal that I've made before, but I thought it would be good. And it was. My husband especially loved this, and so did the toddler. I've never used packet gravy before. I've always made my own, so this was a bit of a novelty. But yeah, it was good. So I just chopped up all of my veggies, so a couple of potatoes and a couple of carrots, and I parboiled them just so they were a little bit soft. And then I chucked my meatballs into the air fryer. I can't actually remember what I did them at. It was probably like 180 for 15 minutes or something like that, just until it cooked through, basically. And I did them in the air fryer deliberately so that all of the like fat and stuff from the meatballs would go to the bottom of the air fryer, and then I could use that to give my veggies a little bit of flavoring. So yes, I chucked the veggies into the bottom of the pot after I did the meatballs and just sort of gave them a little bit of a brown. So they'd already been parboiled. I used these to give them a little bit of flavor, a little bit of browning, and then I actually finished them off just for like 5 minutes in the air fryer to make them a little bit crispy. And this meal was delicious. It made 4 servings and I would totally eat this again, and my husband would happily eat it again. The last meal that I made for under $10 was this tofu satay. or like, yeah, peanut satay thing. It was pretty good, but again, it would just taste so much better if you made the satay sauce yourself, but I couldn't afford it. So it's fine, whatever. These were all of the ingredients that I used. I'd never bought these baby corns before, but they were cheap, so I did. And yeah, all I did was chop up my veggies, chop up my tofu, and I browned the tofu in a pan. I cheated a little bit because I put in some chicken fat that I had left over just to give the tofu a bit of flavor. And yeah, that just made it sort of crispy. Look, it would have made it crispy, but I got lazy and couldn't be bothered waiting for the tofu to get crispy, so but whatever. While that was cooking, I also chucked the noodles into a pot with boiling water. They were really easy to make. And once my tofu was brown-ish, I added in the veggies and the peanut satay simmer sauce as well. This is what the noodles looked like once they were cooked. These noodles are a bit weird. Not gonna lie, they were a bit weird, but it's all right. They were cheap. And this is what my veggies and tofu looked like. So I mixed the noodles in once they had been simmering for maybe like 15 minutes. And yeah, this was decent. It also made like a whole lot of food for $10. So veg is the way to go. That is it. Those were my 5 dinners for under $10 each. And oh my gosh, what a whirlwind. None of them turned out great. I think the beef and gravy was probably the best one. That's definitely the one my husband liked the most. The tuna bowls are good too. All of these could be good if you made your own sauce. I think that's really the key. All of these cheap simmer sauces and marinades and stuff are gross. Make your own if you can. But again, it is good to know that if you have $10, you can go into a store and buy the ingredients to make a meal for your family. It just might not taste the best. Anyway, let me know what you think or how I could have improved these for not going over my budget though. Don't start being like, oh, make your own teriyaki. Like, I know that's better, but I can't do that for under $10. So, okay, yeah, let me know what you think and I'll be back again with a new video soon. Goodbye.